to our PWN evening meeting. My name is Megan Mertz. I am the PWN 2021 membership chair, and just wanted to remind or if you've seen the email, we are doing a little something different this time and going to do breakout sessions on Zoom. So we will go ahead and actually get more of an intimate connection later on this evening. Also, too, for our members, we have a new offer. It is Fridays with the Vice President Marion Galatly of Powerful Presence, where our members will have the chance to interview live on our Facebook page. So definitely get in touch with her. It's a great member benefit, get in front of a lot of people. So I can't wait to see. First one comes out on Friday. And then also, I just want to say thank you to our March sponsor, which is, of course, Julie Schnitzer of Agreeable Fitness. And I don't think she's not on, but like I said before, she is a fabulous coach, mental, spiritual. You get so much out of working with Julie on a very personal basis. And then, Gay, can I turn it over to you?
Okie dokie. That was fast.
That was fast.
Okay. So our showcase for this evening is Beth Pawanda. And Beth has over 10 years experience in financial services and risk management. During her tenure as a farmer's insurance agent and as a financial advisor and registered representative for New York Life and New York Life Securities, she established trusted relationships with clients by listening to their concerns and educating them about modern wealth accumulation strategies and the importance of risk management. She is excited and committed to the latest chapter in her career as a Medicare specialist, helping seniors navigate the often confusing maze and overwhelming healthcare choices and decisions available to them. Our showcase for this evening is
Thank you. Do you want me to talk now?
Yes.
We're doing things a little bit out of order. Okay, sure. Okay, so anyway, thank you for having me. So if you are turning 65 or you know somebody who is, you probably already know that Medicare can be confusing to you. And you probably have a lot of questions. For instance, where do I sign up? How much does Medicare cost and what does it cover? I'm still working. Should I sign up now or should I wait until I retire? What's this donut hole that I keep hearing about? And what's the difference between a supplement and a Medicare Advantage plan? Can I keep my doctor? These are examples of the many questions that I get. I am an Medicare insurance specialist. I'm an independent broker. I do not work for Medicare and I do not work for Social Security. What I do is I help people, excuse me, understand the process. Some people ask me all the time, well, why would I use somebody like you instead of just going directly to, like, say, Social Security and asking them, or just going directly to the carriers? Well, the answer is simple. I can help you navigate the entire process from start to finish, whether or not, how to sign up for Medicare Part A in the first place, understanding what it is. And then also, I'm a broker, so I represent all the different carriers. So if you were to go directly to just one company, like say United Healthcare or Aetna or Anthem, they would just sell you their plan. I can show you all the different plans and do comparisons for you. And it doesn't cost you anything to work with someone like me. I get paid by the carriers. So anyhow, that's basically what I do. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Does anybody have any questions? I can't hear you, Gay. Oh, sorry.
How would someone get in touch with you?
Oh, okay, that would be a very good thing. Call me. I can put my phone number and my contact information in the chat box, but yeah, you could call me or text me and email me, and I will definitely put all that information in the chat box. So a good referral for me is someone who is turning 65 or somebody who is retiring and coming off an employer plan, and also somebody who just wants to review what they already have. So I will put my contact information in the chat box, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
I have one quick question. Do you handle people other than people that are getting ready to go into Medicare and stuff like that? Do you handle just if somebody doesn't have work, like a 1099 employee who wants insurance, do you handle that?
I only do Medicare. I don't do general
Okay.
health insurance. And one other thing I wanted to also do is I also help people who, when they get to a certain point and they're on Medicare, if they need extra help, I can advise them how to go about the process of getting extra help because it is available. Yeah, you're muted, so we can't hear you, but we can see you talking.
No, it's funny. I'm trying to do two things at the same time. I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I hope people connect with you. Okay, wait before my thing goes off. All right. So
You're on mute.
next for our schedule is our premier speaker for the evening. It's Lindsay Horton. Lindsay Horton is a social media specialist and the owner of Social Monterey. Social Monterey helps small businesses build a consistent online presence and a community that is passionate about their brand. Through custom social media design and sustainable brand strategy, Social Monterey sets small businesses up for long-term success. After a career in corporate marketing, Lindsay brings her unique public relations and marketing skills to help entrepreneurs make an impact and thrive on social media. In addition to serving small businesses in the Monterey Bay community, Lindsay also serves as the 2021 Communications Chair. Our speaker for tonight, ladies, is Lindsay Horton. Yay, Lindsay!
Thanks, Gay. Let's see. Let me share my screen. Oops. All right. Thank you, Gay, and thank you for everyone for being here. My name is Lindsay Horton, and tonight we're going to do a little bit of social media 101. So, like Gay said in my introduction, I'm Lindsay and I'm the owner of Social Monterey. So I help small business owners save time and build thriving online communities with social media services. I wanted, before we jump into the content, to start off with this quote from Gary Vee. If you do any research on like digital marketing or any of those things, he's one of the sort of big wigs. And his quote here is, "For me, I'm only interested in one thing, the thing that binds us all together." And what he's talking about here is human connection through storytelling. So when we think about social media, it's really easy for us to get wrapped up in, I'm using social media for my business and I want my business to make sales. But when we think about social media and bringing it back to the basics, what people are online and on social media for is for that human connection. So when you are using social media for your business, it's important to remember to be social, keep social media social, as they say, and we can kind of get into this here. So I know for a lot of small business owners, they've known for a while that social media is important, but 2020 really made it essential. So in 2020, 47% of internet using adults spent more time on social media than they did the year before in general. So people are online more than ever, but when we look at these stats moving into 2021, there are 3.6 billion daily active users on social media, and the average user is spending about 3 hours per day on social media. 54% of users are also using social media to research or vet products or services before they buy them. And I know what you guys are thinking when you hear me giving this presentation and you hear that 3-hour number. A lot of people think, oh, it just has to be millennials that are on social media. But I wanted to show you guys these numbers here about the percentage of users in each of these age groups. So yes, 90% of millennials do have an active social media presence, but when we get into these other age demographics, you can see that over 77% of Gen X, and then nearly 50% of baby boomers all have an active social media presence. So the point here is that no matter who your target demographic is, they're on social media in some capacity. So translation, your small business needs to be on social media. And at a time when money is tighter for a lot of businesses, social media can really be a lifeline. And that, yes, it does take time to do, but it is or can be a free marketing resource for your business. So this is what I like to call social media 101. So we'll talk about 4 sort of basic social media lessons and then get into how you can implement them yourself in your business. But the nice thing about this sort of course or presentation is that no matter where you are in your social media journey, whether you haven't started a social media presence for your business, whether you are super active on social media, or if you're still in kind of that phase where you're trying out new things, but you're not really sure what's working for you, this can kind of bring everything together no matter where you are in your journey. So lesson 1 is that people buy from people. When we talk about social media, we talk a lot about the know, like, and trust factor. So for someone to purchase from you, specifically for someone who just finds you on social media, they haven't heard about you from word of mouth or seen you in their community, they need to know, like, and trust you before they'll purchase. So no matter what your business is, you want to think of yourself as a storyteller and giving that sort of personal aspect to your business. So who are you? What do you do? And what transformation will your product or service provide for your ideal customer or client? Lesson 2 is to know your audience. So I think sales 101, if we were in that course, if you're selling to everyone, then you're selling to no one. So this isn't just important for making sales on social media, but a key factor in social media is going to be engagement. So Instagram and Facebook, they favor accounts with an engaged audience. So what does that mean? It means that your followers are liking what you're posting, they're commenting on your post, they're saving, they're sharing. And if you're not posting stuff that's resonating with your audience, then they're not going to like or comment or share. And without those items, then the almighty algorithm, if you have heard of that, that's what sort of shows your post to other people. If you don't have an engaged audience, then the algorithm is not going to do you any favors. So we can kind of see this little graphic here of how it works is that if you know your audience and you're posting content that is speaking directly to them, they are going to be engaged. They're going to be liking your post. They're going to be commenting, and that's going to make the algorithm happy. We love a happy algorithm. And when it's happy, it's going to start showing your post to more people. It's going to not just the people in your audience, the people who follow you, but to others who sort of look like those people or are following those same hashtags. So the more that people are engaging with you and that you're engaging with people, the more reach and then eventually sales your business will be able to make. Lesson 3 is quality over quantity. So I always like to tell people there are so many things on the internet that say post every day, post 3 times a day, do this, do that. And the thing that is important to remember is that your business is like no other business out there. So you don't need to do what everyone's telling you to do. You need to do what works for your business and what works for your audience. So I always like to tell people, number 1, focus on quality content and quality posts rather than just throwing stuff up to make sure you got a post out for the day. If you are just throwing up a photo and saying, happy Monday, that's not going to get people engaged. It's not really serving your audience. You're just doing that because you're checkmark check marking something off of your list for the day. But if you are putting out content that is quality, that is serving your audience, something that they can relate to, and we'll get into what those different items are down the line, that's when they're going to start engaging with you. And the thing to remember is, you know, everyone thinks, oh, if I only had 10,000 followers, I can make more sales. But really, you don't need a large audience to make sales. You want to focus on the audience you have, because they're going to be your biggest fans, your biggest cheerleaders, and then help spread the word for you. And that's how you can grow organically without paying for ads and all those other things. And then lesson 4, which is the big 3, is that there's 3 items that you want to always build into your social media strategy. So number 1 is your expertise. So no one does what you do like you do it. Showcase that you are the expert in your field by providing tips and value. Number 2 is you want to be relatable. Whenever someone does eventually decide that they want to work with you or purchase from you, they want to know that you're someone that they can relate to. And then the third one is emotion. And so this doesn't mean, you know, showing everyone that you're having the worst day ever and crying on your Facebook Live. It's really more of humanizing your brand. So whether that's showcasing, you know, the charities and things that you are passionate about, the organizations like PWN that you're passionate about, all of these things that are just going to humanize your brand and then help people get behind you. And then all this goes back to that know, like, and trust factor. So all of these things, it's kind of a lot. And what I think a lot of people think, well, I want to do all these things, but how do I do them, or where do I start? So that's what we're going to break down, how you can start implementing these things today and start growing your social media presence. So number 1 is being crystal clear about who you are and what you do in your bio. So people want to follow people they have something in common with or that they can learn something from. Your bio should also always take people where you want them to go. So if you are, you know, have a 6-week course that's coming up, or you have a freebie that you want them to download, or you want them to purchase from you directly using this link, you want to tell them exactly what you want them to do. And you also want to share your location, little sort of a little personal, maybe anecdote, but all these things that will help you stand out and stay top of mind. So I will show you guys an example of my Instagram bio, and this is how I set them up for my clients as well as myself. And these items, this is Instagram, but they can transfer over to the different parts in Facebook as well. But I like to think of your bio as your business card. So if you hand someone your business card, they should know exactly who you are and what you do. So the first thing is going to be your photo. If you are a 1-person team, then I highly suggest using a photo of yourself. If you're a team or a brick and mortar, then you can use your logo. But especially for the solopreneurs like myself, when someone does decide that they want to work with you, they'll know exactly when they first see your social media, like, that's who I'm going to work with. And it starts that one-on-one connection from the beginning. The second part is going to be your name and your username. So a lot of people don't know this, but your username here, so for me, it's my business name, Social Monterey, and then my name here, so it's Lindsay, and then my title, social media expert. So both of these sections are actually searchable in Instagram. So you don't want them to be the same thing, because if someone is searching Social Monterey and it's in both, then yes, I will come up. But now if someone's searching social media expert, then I'll also come up. So I'm reaching people outside of just those who know my business name. The other thing with this name here is that if I ever message someone, that they'll see my first name first. So it really, again, is creating that personal connection right from the beginning. I guess the next part on your bio is going to be your I help statement. So this is going to tell people exactly what you do. For me, mine says helping small business owners save time and build thriving online communities through social media. It could be, if you are a gym owner, you could say helping women achieve their fitness goals through working out and nutrition or anything like that, that can show someone exactly what you do in one sentence. So I'm sure as business owners, we all have something like that. So include that here. The next item is going to be a personal anecdote. So for me, I have local business owner and supporter. I know my mentor, she does oat milk latte and white wine connoisseur. I see a lot of people that do, fitness junkie and dog mom, but it's really something that when someone sees this, they're just going to be able to relate to you. Like, I have a dog too, or I also, am a travel junkie, or all these things that kind of, again, builds that personal brand and that personal connection from the beginning. And then the last thing here is, like I mentioned, tell people exactly what you want them to do. And I always use an arrow down, and because it, as the last thing, because it will point right directly to my link. So for me, it says book now for 2021. If you have, a course, it could say sign up here. If you have a freebie, it could say get your freebie, but tell them exactly what you want to do and where you want them to go. And then the last part here is location. So I know for a lot of business owners, and especially online business owners, it seems kind of counterintuitive to put a location because you think, oh, well, I want to serve everyone, not just my local community. But the thing about including this location, so for me, it's Monterey, California, is that people can make a connection with Monterey or Carmel or Erie, Pennsylvania, no matter where they live in the United States. So I get so many messages from people who don't live locally that say, oh, I love Monterey. It was one of my favorite vacation spots, or my cousin went to NPS, or I have always loved those little Carmel cottages. But it just creates, again, that connection, that talking point for them to start the conversation with you, with just you including these little sort of personal items on your bio. All right. And then always, this seems like a no-brainer, but always make sure your contact information is up to date. I know, like Jody said, she redid her website today, and all these little things that we forget about, making sure that those URLs are up to date. Or if, you're switching the link from your course sign up back to your website, just always making sure that your contact information is taking them where they want to go. So step 2 is going to be to create savable and shareable content. And with, with social media, you can do posts, reels, stories, you can go live on Facebook, all of these things. So no matter what content or what format you're putting it in, though, we should always be aiming to create content that is educational, entertaining, inspiring, or informative. So it should fit into one of those 4 categories. You should also be including a strong headline and call to action to drive engagement. So we'll look at that in just one second. I also encourage you, when you're writing your captions, to use words like you. So when someone's reading your caption, they feel like you are talking directly to them. So if you're posting about an upcoming course, you can say, you will get X, Y, and Z transformation, or all of these things, so that person knows you're speaking directly to them. And then always remember that no matter what platform you are on, is that social media is visual. So try to use the highest quality images for more engagement and faster growth. So if we look at this here, I always, when I talk to people, they're always like, well, I want to create stuff that's resonating with my ideal customer or client, or I want to create engaging content, but I just don't know what to post. I hear this all the time. And so I've created what I call the 5 content pillars that any business owner can use for their business when it comes to social media. So the first one is going to be a day in the life. So this is the more personal branding side. For me, I always post in the mornings. I usually post my coffee and the book that I'm reading as sort of my daily my daily personal posts on my stories. It could also be, if you, for our ladies here who are members of PWN, you could share that you're part of this networking. Just these little things that aren't necessarily business related, but helps build that personal brand for you. The second part is going to be the behind the scenes and client work. So what you're actually doing. And I know a lot of times people think for me, I'm like, no one cares what a social media manager does. But the flip side of that coin is most people don't know what a social media manager does. So when I'm showing, how I'm building out the strategies, or how I'm creating a monthly content planner for my clients, or how I'm creating graphics, it isn't just, me sitting on Instagram. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. And that's just that's my personal role. But I'm sure for you and your business, there's a lot of things that people don't see that you're doing. And you can share that behind the scenes. You can also share, your just what you're working on. The third part is going to be inspiration and motivation. So this positions you in front of your clients as sort of that, depending on how you post, but usually that uplifting, motivating light in their social media life. So a lot of times this is going to be inspirational quotes. It could be your client testimonials or transformations. And then that leads us into the value and education, or how you're going to showcase your expertise. So I always suggest that you share tips and tricks, tutorials, all of those things on your social media. This positions you as the expert in your field. I know a lot of times people are worried that someone is going to, steal what they're saying, or they're going to go and sit through and watch hundreds of hours of their tips and tricks and never purchase from them. But no one's really going to do that. It's just that whenever you are showcasing this value and your expertise, that if someone's not necessarily ready to purchase from you now, whenever they are ready to purchase your product or service, they're going to know in their mind, that's who I want to work with. They're the expert. And it, again, positions you as the expert in your field. And then the fifth one is invites and calls to action for your sale. So this is going to be the download my freebie, purchase my product, come to my course, come to my speaking series, whatever you want them to do, you should post about it. But do notice that it's not all 5 sales, 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 sales. That's what we absolutely do not want in our social media strategy. So these are the 5, again, content pillars that any business can use. And then I always suggest just to rotate these. So you could even go in this order, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and continue to rotate them. And this way you can sort of hit all of those items that people are looking for as a social media user. This next part is we're talking about captions. So I always suggest that when you're writing your caption to include a headline and a call to action. It's really easy for us, especially for those of us who aren't copywriters, to, write a caption and you're excited because it's all done and then you just throw it up. But it's important to remember that social media, we need to stop the scroll. We need, that people are scrolling, and we want them to stop on our posts and engage. So what I suggest when you write your caption, go ahead and read it and then pick out what was that that, golden nugget in the caption that you wanted them to take away from it, and then make a little headline about it, just like you would see in a newspaper. And a great way to sort of stop the scroll is to use these different headline options. So I use the example if I was trying to create a post about growing on Instagram. So I could do a how-to that says how to grow your following on Instagram. I could use a number. So I could say 3 simple daily steps to grow your gram. I could pose a question that says, are you struggling to find followers on Instagram? Or I could do a more relatable headline that says, raise your hand if you want 1,000 followers. So in one, I guess, caption, I could reposition it 4 different ways with these different headlines. The other thing that you'll always want to include is a call to action. So what do you want them to do when they are on your post? And there's different ways that you might want them to like it, you might want them to comment, save, share, you might want them to purchase from you, so you want them to click a link. But we can use, again, these different options. So a question. So we could do, for this option, how do you find new followers on Instagram? Or how do you find new followers on Instagram? I know that last week for one of my clients, we did just a photo of a really cute Dutch door. And we talked about, design and architecture. But at the end, it just said, do you like Dutch doors? It's very simple. And so many people were just like, oh my God, I love Dutch doors. Oh gosh, they're adorable. They're my favorite. I wish I had one on my house. And just something so simple as, do you like Dutch doors? And that's what gets people to comment. It's something that they don't have to think very hard about, but that it's easy for them to respond to. If you are leaving your post open-ended, it's harder for people to want to engage because they have to do more thinking, or really have to, want to go ahead and respond to you. So I always suggest these call to actions. Another great one for engagement is a this or that. So this one says, do you prefer to find your followers in hashtags or by location? Again, it can be something much simpler. So I have a lot of real estate clients, and we do one where we post just like, a really beautiful front porch, and it says, would you prefer to drink your coffee or wine here? So something really silly and simple, but it gets people commenting there. They can just put the wine emoji, or they could say, I would love to have my morning cup of coffee here. And it's something fun. Again, they don't have to think too much about it, and they can go ahead and respond. If you're doing a sales, you'll obviously want them to click your link or message you or whatever you want them to do to go ahead and move that sale into the next step. So it could say, click the link in my bio, or if you're on Facebook, you can put your link right in. So click here to sign up. If you want them to message you, message me for more info. And then for your tips and value, especially if you are giving a lot of value or you're doing a longer video, you can encourage them to save the post and come back to it later. So these are great ways to encourage engagement on your posts through your caption. So the third step is creating those personal connections and inviting your audience in through stories. So again, this could be your tips and tutorials. It could be sharing your favorite coffee creamer. I do that all the time, especially during the holidays, and I'll post something like pumpkin spice latte season, something really silly, but there are so many people who post or who write back to that directly in the story. And the thing about stories is that, and stories are on Facebook and Instagram, is that you can, when you're sharing your story, someone can write directly to you from there. So when it seems silly that I'm posting coffee creamer, what it's really doing is starting that conversation with a potential client right from the beginning. They feel like my friend, or they feel like they know me and we're just talking about coffee. But whenever they're ready to talk about social media, I'll already be there in their messages or in their, Facebook Messenger right there, and they are ready to talk. And then the other thing about stories is that they should be off the cuff and not to overthink them. So it is really hard, I know, especially if you are videoing yourself doing a tip or tutorial and you're worried about every single or like or stutter, all of those things. And then I do this all the time, and then I'm rewatching it, and then I'm like, oh no, I need to re-record it. Really, people just want to see who you are and learn more about you and your business, and they're not worried if you say or it's not perfect. And that's important to remember here. So yes, your posts, we want these to be, about as good as they get. You don't want a lot of typos. You don't want, a thumbprint smudge over the photo, because the things on your post, those live forever on your feed or on your Facebook feed. But when you're using stories, those only last for 24 hours. So they don't have to be perfect. But it's just a fun way to invite your audience in, for them to learn more about you, learn your personality, learn your business. I like to say that the posts are kind of like your feature film, if you will, and then your stories are kind of like the highlight reel. So the stuff that's going to get them interested and want to learn more about you. And then step 4 here is to connect and grow with genuine and intentional engagement. So when I say engagement, we talked about this earlier, you want people to like and comment on your posts, but they're not going to do that if you're not giving, the same thing out. So when you're on social media, you should be commenting and liking and finding those people you want to be your ideal customer or client and engaging with them. I always encourage you to start local and grow outward. So what do I mean by that? Start by picking your favorite coffee shop that you go to and commenting and liking on their post, your favorite restaurants, places that your ideal customer or client might go to as well. And when you are not just liking, but also commenting on these posts, people are going to start seeing you and your business come up, and they're going to want to know, who is that person that's always commenting on the coffee shop that I love, or all of these things. And then they can click and get directly into your profile. So I always say to engage for a minimum of 30 minutes per day to maximize your social media growth and to stay top of mind with your audience. So that sounds like a lot, and I know it does, and it kind of overwhelms people. So I like to break it down into these little 10-minute sort of nuggets or breaks. And then this allows you to cover all of your bases when it comes to engagement. So you should spend 10 minutes engaging in your feed. So that's, what you're scrolling through when you go on Facebook or Instagram. Make sure you're liking. Likes are great, but also make sure you're commenting, because when you like, it's going to say Social Monterey and 999 other people liked this post. So you're, stuck in that 999, but when you're commenting, that's when you're shown to more people, and they're going to say, who is Lindsay? Spend 10 minutes engaging in stories. So again, if someone posts that coffee creamer, just write back, oh, I love, mint chocolate chip for the holidays, because it's getting you right into their messages from the beginning. You're not doing, a salesy pitch. You are just being a genuine, personable, and responding to them, but it gets you top of mind and in their messages or their direct messages right there. And then engaging with hashtags. So this one's a little bit more Instagram focused because hashtags don't really work the same on Facebook. But with hashtags, if we are looking at, let's say, if you are on the Monterey Peninsula, you might want to go into hashtag Monterey Peninsula and see and look for posts that look like someone who could possibly be your ideal customer or client, and then like and comment there. And not only that, but let's say you are let's say again, you're a fitness instructor. You can go into, and you're looking for more female clients, personal training clients. So you could go into something like girls who lift, and then find people, number one, who are either also personal trainers who have the same ideal customers and clients as you. So you're kind of doing a lookalike audience thing there, or you could again use something like a location or things like that. But when you're engaging with those hashtags and you're using those hashtags in your posts, then you'll start showing up in more places also. So the other thing is, if 10 minutes seems like a lot, I break these down into maybe just say 10 items. I'm going to comment on 10 posts. I'm going to respond to 10 stories. So whichever one works for you or how your mind works better, that's how I suggest to do it. But this is something also you could like add to your, I'm going to check this off my daily list each day. And then step 5 is going to be consistent and give more than you get. So create a social media strategy that works for you and stick with it. I like to call this finding your minimum. So again, there are so many things online that say post every day, post 2 times a day on Facebook and 20 times on Twitter and all these things that are overwhelming. And I always try to remind people that your audience and your business is different than every other audience or business out there. So if you are more of a person who it's easy for you to get on stories and you're showing up consistently every day, and then you're maybe only posting on your feed once or twice a week, but it's super valuable, that's totally fine. Maybe you're the opposite and you don't really like doing the stories or the behind the scenes, but you can create those valuable posts and write, you know, your captions and those, and you're showing up more like 4 to 5 times there. However it works for you, but find something that works for you and then stick with it, because consistency is super key when it comes to social media. And the second part of this is to stop chasing and start serving. And this goes back to the value and showcasing your expertise. And I always just encourage people, go back to your why. And remember, when social media starts to feel overwhelming, is remember who your audience is and who you're wanting to serve, but that also people need your voice, your energy, and your expertise. And that's how you can connect with them, is through social media. So to break this down, I guess the key takeaways are to think of your bio as your business card. Your grid or what you're posting on your business page on Facebook is going to be your storefront, and then your stories, and maybe on Facebook it might be lives, would be maybe a better equivalent to stories, but those things that are showcasing your personality, those are what's going to open the door and invite people to come in and purchase from you. So what should your social media strategy be going from here? Would be to find your minimum. The recommended is posting 3 to 4 times per week and then showing up on stories 3 times per day. But again, whatever works for you, that's what I would suggest using as your strategy. Rotating your content pillars and themes. So those 5 content pillars, and then the educational, inspirational, informative, or entertaining. Make sure you're always rotating those. And I try to remind people about this because, again, it shouldn't just be sales, 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 sales on every post. So that's why the rotation is important. Engage for 30 minutes a day, and then remember to always be authentically you. So is social media work? Yes, it does take a lot of work. I know, because it's my full-time job, but it's totally worth it. Whenever you have a social media strategy that's working for you and you're making those connections, it's going to be like a light bulb goes off in your head or goes off for your business. And the great part is that you don't have to do it all alone. I love being a cheerleader for people on social media. I know a couple of PWN members that I always love to, write them like, this is great, this is perfect, you're doing it wonderful. So if you want someone who will be there as your social media cheerleader, please follow me and we can be friends on social media. And then that is it. If anyone had any questions, I'm happy to open up for Q&A, but I don't know where we are on time, Gay.
Oh, we have time. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. So I have a question first. Is it better to do a video or is it better to write blogs?
Well, so for social media, it's a little bit different because blogs are going to be on your website, and yes, you can link out to your blogs. But I would say if you're thinking about social media in particular, if you're thinking like photo or video, then video is always going to perform higher than a photo, just because, the algorithms, they favor video, but it's just more engaging. It's easy to scroll by a photo, but if you stop and, or you see that, what is that video? I want to know, and you kind of watch. But the other thing with that too is that if you want people to stay on your video, you have to capture them like right in those first 7 seconds. So keeping all of those things in mind, I would say, I guess video versus blog. I would probably try to maybe repurpose content. So if you have a blog post, you could make like a short video of it saying, this is one tip from my blog, but now check out the blog post to see all 5 tips or something like that. So maybe you're not giving it all away on social media and then you're pushing them out to your website.
So I'm sorry. So I guess, is it better to do a Facebook post or do a Facebook like video live, short?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
So, okay. Yeah, so it would be, again, the algorithms are gonna favor, they're gonna favor video just in general. The other thing with that is that when you go live, Facebook will tell people Gay Friedman's going live now, and it'll notify them. So unless they've, put in notifications for your business specifically to let them know when you've just posted, then it won't tell them. But lives will generally let people know, Gay's going live, go watch her now. So if you're trying to get more eyes on your feed, I would, try it out. Test it, the lives.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I was wondering if there's a way to store your hashtags. I've heard that there is. Like if you're doing Instagram and somebody has like dozens of hashtags, is there a way to sort of copy and paste those so you don't have to like redo them every time you make a post?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways you could do it. I use just a Google Doc or like Google Sheets, and I put them in there. But if you have an iPhone, you can also do, I think, what's it called? I don't know if it's like convert to text or save text, but you could do something like where you type out, let's say, hashtag locations. And so you put like 10 location hashtags in this one thing in your iPhone setting. Yeah. So it's more of like not really a way to do it, but a hack.
Okay, convert to text or something. It's in settings.
Yeah, it's in settings. Exactly. I think it might be your keyboard. And then that way, you could save these different little groups, and then you just need to put 2 or 3 on your post instead of typing out all the hashtags at once.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
When you do your daily story, does it have to be on your blog or can it be on your Facebook page for your business?
Yes. So stories, they're on Instagram and Facebook. And what it is it's it lasts for 24 hours. So it's really more, instead of, like you posting a picture and writing your caption, it's just like a little photo or video that you take right there. And then it goes to the stories feed on Facebook. So if you are comfortable with Facebook, you could still use stories there.
What do you think about using GIFs for?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
GIFs are fun. People like them. They're easy, you know, a way to respond again
They're
to
fun
those
and
questions.
funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You haven't really talked much about Facebook. Do all these things about Instagram translate to Facebook as well? And
Yeah. So,
I have an Instagram account. Is that hard to set up?
so, all the things about, you know, the value and what you should be talking about and the content pillars, all those things really, no matter what social media platform you're on, they're going to resonate. And because that goes back to that creating your personal brand and speaking directly to your ideal customer or client and letting them know who you are before they ever, you know, step through the door into your office or clinic. And so, yes, all of those things do correlate. Some of the things like I didn't get into a lot were the hashtags because those are more Instagram based. And the stories, the people I would say utilize them more on Instagram over Facebook, but they do still have stories on Facebook. So all of those things that I talked about, those still work for Facebook also. If you don't have an Instagram account, it's really easy to set up and you can actually link your Facebook and Instagram. So if you're posting from Facebook, you could push it to Instagram or vice versa. Like if you have one that you prefer over the other, then you can actually push it over to the other platform too. So that gives you more reach on both platforms without having to, I guess, do the double work as far as double posting.
I have a question too, if I'm not interrupting anybody.
Yeah.
So as far as planning things go, like planning a few days out, can you recommend any platforms that I can pre-plan with?
Yeah. So if you are planning your content and you want to schedule it, which is, I always suggest people do that because it's so, if you don't, you know, plan your content and you're not scheduling it, then what happens is you're at 6:52 at night and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to post for the day. And I use Facebook Creator Studio. So there are a ton of platforms that you can use. A lot of them are paid, but Facebook Creator Studio is owned by Facebook. It's free and you can post directly to Facebook and Instagram from it for your business. So if you're not familiar, you can just Google Facebook Creator Studio. It's going to be in your Facebook business page area. But then you'll be able to post to both platforms for there. And, you know, Facebook owns Instagram and they are always trying to push people to their, you know, platforms and services. So they've actually been taking away some of the features from third-party services like Later or Planoly, and only allowing them to be used if you're using their service. So like if you want to schedule but add a location to your post, you can only do that in Facebook Creator Studio, not with any of these third parties. So that's what I suggest, and it's free. The other ones I think are only about $20 a month, but that adds up throughout the year. So,
Do we have any other questions?
I do.
Go ahead. You're fine.
Lindsay, so on that Facebook creator, if you have a business page and a regular personal Facebook page, in addition to Instagram, will it do it to all three?
no,
Or-
so it's only for business pages. So no matter what service you use, the actual scheduling through a third party is only available to business pages. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, so you could do it for your business, and then what I would do is just copy and paste it probably from one of the business pages.
Okay.
Lindsay, I have another question if you don't mind.
Sure.
When you're, it's something new that just came up for me on my pages when I'm posting items that for my business, it says to tag the product and then it'll be easier for them to find or purchase. I'm not sure what that is. or what I'm doing.
So I think that's really more Facebook and is trying to encourage people to start using online shopping. So even if, do you have a product-based business?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do you use an online store? Like through
I do have an online store. That changes frequently. My business is simply Scarves Taiwan On, and so I'm promoting different items all the time. And I do have a store, but it's like I guess people can go in there, but I kind of ignore it and just keep posting different things.
I think
I
probably because, you know, like Facebook and all of these things are so smart, is that it's seeing that you have a product that you are promoting through your business, and then it's showing you this prompt because it wants you to use their product to start
What does
selling
it do? What does it do?
It would be like if someone saw your post and then they could just click directly and it would show them, I don't know how much your scarves are, but let's say it was like, here's the scarf and it's $50. They could see the price and then purchase directly, but you'd have to do a lot of back end
That's
setup.
what I'm wondering, if it's
Yeah.
real lengthy to do that if you have, hundreds of items.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I post the price along with the description or whatever, right in the post. And that's appropriate too, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
perfect.
Okay, ladies, thank you very much, Lindsay. Lindsay, that was outstanding. And I would hope that if anybody has any other questions, that they would connect with Lindsay. She's great. She even will give you, what's your offer with, you can have a conversation with you. It's like, is it 15 minutes or 30 minutes?
Oh,
Lindsay?
yes. I do just a 30-minute, I guess, like coffee chat or discovery call or consultation, whatever you want to call it. If you just want to talk about social media, I'm always free.
That's good. Well, thank you so much. And now for the big event. So Jody, how do you want me to handle this?
Okay, I'm gonna make you the host, Gay, so that you can have, because you said you don't have access to the breakout room.
Not right now, no.
Okay, so let me make you host.
Okay, lady. Oh, go ahead.
Hang on, make host.
And let me explain to you what is going to happen now as soon as I become host. I'm going to send you into rooms. You're going to be in there with either 2 or 3. Now I want to say it says there are 19 people, because I don't count 19. But anyway, I'm going to send you into rooms. You're going to talk to each other. What you're going to do is you're going to interview each other. I don't want anybody going, hi, my name is Gay Friedman, and this is what I want. This is what I do. I want you to get to know each other. I want you to interview each other for 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
No, not 15 minutes each. No. It's going to be like 4 or 5 minutes each. Hi, Lauren. It's going to be 4 or 5 minutes each. Everybody in the room is going to interview someone else. Because when you come out of your breakout room, I'm going to be asking questions.
Uh-oh, Tess.
You can't talk about yourself. You have to talk about the person that you're interviewing. And we're going to do this twice. We're going to try to do this twice. There it is. We're going to do this twice. So the question is, you're going to interview your partners. Hopefully this is going to work. It's the first time, so it might be a little bumpy. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Oh, I was just saying, I don't hear anybody. I'm really worried.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay, so what will happen when I put you into Zoom, you're probably going to notice in the bottom corner of your screen asking you if you want to join the room. So you're going to have to join it. Here we go. Okay, so everybody's coming back. We have 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, so ladies, how was that? Wait a minute, where? can't hear anybody. Oh, no.
It was
Great.
we couldn't
Feel
use
free
that
to,
fine.
feel free to tell
It
them
was
what you
awesome.
Oh, okay.
Really
So,
good.
yeah, except room number one had 4 people. I didn't mean for it to have so many people. Did you have a chance to talk to each other?
Yeah, we did good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So let me see. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put you back in, hopefully.
So feel free, Gay, to tell them all what you learned.
Well, I don't think we're going to have enough room. Wait a minute. See if we can, let's see what it does this time. I'm just checking to make sure that I try to get you guys in different rooms.
We're doing it again.
Yes, with different people.
With different people. Okay.
Now, I want to say that I didn't give you enough, really 5 minutes each because we didn't have enough time. So you'll probably have about 10 minutes and just to talk to each other. And I wanted to do the same thing though. I don't want you bragging about yourself. I want you learning about the person that you're talking to. So let's see how this works. It's going to be the same thing and then we'll move on to the end of the program. Okay, so right now we're gonna, Megan's gonna do testimonials, oh no, so since it's 7:21, I should pick someone, but we really don't have time, or if we do, because we have to do the raffle, the testimonials, and I just want to say that next, our lunch meeting, which is coming up, is Dee Baylor. She's the speaker, and she's doing the emotional journey of women entrepreneurs. So I hope to see you guys. But now I will give it to Megan.
Do we have time?
Yeah, we have time.
Okay. So testimonials, appreciations, or business. We haven't done this in quite a little bit of time. So this is our time to share any of our interactions that we've had. Has anyone had any referrals or testimonials within the group? Okay, well, I can go on. Lindsay.
Yes, I have been taking Marion's style shift course, and if you guys have seen me on Zoom before, I do not normally have this gorgeous background. So Marion has helped me figure out, number one, how to look great on Zoom, but then also taking it from Zoom into the closet and into everyday life. So I just really can't say enough about how great that course has been. And thank you, Marion.
Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure having you and taking you through this journey over 5 weeks.
You look like a pro when you first came on, Lindsay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you look like just set up perfectly. And we know that Marion's background is always
Yeah.
pristine and precise. Because you do look, people, I think, they look behind you and it's kind of part of your personality a little bit.
We're nosy. We want to know what's that.
That's right. That's
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Okay, so you had one, Megan?
I did. So I actually took Lindsay Horton's Social Monterey audit. So she came in and audited our disaster cleanup specialist and really broke it down. She had like 13 pages of notes of, this is what we should focus on, and it breaks it down verbatim. And I know she has a content planner on her Instagram that's free, and just between her knowledge and really digging deep as to the opportunity and what I'm missing and the strengths and weaknesses, it's a really great benefit. And it's just been her presentation was phenomenal, and I always get something new out of it. So that's my testimony on that one. So
Thanks, Megan.
and I will ditto that, because she did an audit for me as well. And she's done an audit for PWN. So yeah, highly recommend.
Cool. I love
Awesome.
everyone. So
right.
is that the last one? I'm sorry, Megan. Is that the last one?
That's all I got. Anyone else?
Okay.
Okay.
And then Jody, are you doing the raffle or is Christine? You're doing it?
Well, I'm running the wheel.
Okay.
So are you ready to go?
Yes.
I
Vanna
have to go,
White.
you guys. So I have to go, you guys, because I didn't do any raffle stuff. But anyway, It was wonderful, and I hope somebody will post the link for the replay for this, because I was driving when all this was happening.
And Jody does that for sure.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Joanne.
Joanne.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my sound. And can you all see the
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
wheel? Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle the names around. You can see all the little names that are in there. We've got just a handful of people, but
I don't know. I see Christine Cristobal a lot.
oh yeah, she's dominating.
If I win, it'll be like the first time, a miracle.
Okay, you guys, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we're ready.
We're going to the casino.
It's the wheel of
Look at there.
Christine, you said you never won.
I did. Usually I'm telling you, you could have a jar with 80 of my names and one of somebody else's, and they'll go like this and they'll pull up at one.
That's nice.
Yay.
Well,
Yay,
tonight has
Christine.
changed the tide for you.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And wait. And the raffle prize is what, Megan, again?
It's a free one-on-one training at Adigal Fitness with the owner, Julie Schnitzer. So be ready, Christine.
I'll be seeing you next time.
Yeah, you may live
My fingernails hurt.
It'll work, yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
I think that's everything.
Mhm.
And anybody? Oh, Marion, do you have any announcements or anything?
I do. And just a reminder, it was mentioned earlier, but every Friday now, I'm going to be doing a brief 8 to 10 minute interview with one of our members. We'll do it Zoom, just the two of us sitting and chatting, and we'll live stream it to our Facebook, our PWN Facebook page, the public page. So it's just going to be a conversation. It's nothing to be frightened of. I'm friendly as well. So if any of you would like to be one of my interviewees, I would love that. We are full already for March, but get your name in, go ahead and direct message me or text me or send me an email and get on the list, okay? And I will send you a form to fill out so that we can promote you.
That is
Great.
That sounds
I'd love
great.
to do that. I'll send you a message.
Awesome.
Just go ahead and direct message me.
All right.
okay. And so before we go, I have one more thing. We have 2 minutes, and I would like Janet Kasser. Is it Kasser? How do you say your last name, Janet?
Kassir.
Kasser. I would like Janet Kasser to tell me something about Claire Sutton.
Oh, Claire. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, Claire Sutton. Oh, we could have talked all night. She is a owner of a wine bar, and it's called Sovino's, and it is in Monterey. And she actually is going to join soon. She's a friend of our speaker tonight,
Oh,
Lindsay, and she's pretty much running the business herself
wow.
because of COVID. So she's
Wow.
doing a lot. They're not allowed to have customers inside, but they have them outside, and especially on the weekends. They don't have a full menu because of COVID, but they are serving a few things. But I think she's working extremely hard to maintain it. And she said, I'll take it. I'll take it. So, she's grateful that she does have the business she has. And I think she'll be a great asset to the group.
Right.
And
That's what we need, a wine bar.
Yeah, I've been there. It's a great place. Oh,
I was gonna ask her if she delivered, but I didn't think, I didn't know
I
if she
do.
was allowed.
all right. So it is 7:30 on the dot. We made it.
Wow.
I had a wonderful time. I hope you guys did too. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Megan.
I
Thank you, Jay.
Very good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Great
Bye.
meeting.
Bye.
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 Thanks, Jay.